For those whose ignorance has been destroyed by the knowledge of the self, wisdom shines forth like the sun, revealing the reality of the transcendental self. This is the state of enlightenment. Unenlightened state, think of the wave. Your whole consciousness is identified only with a wave in the midst of countless waves, viewing yourself far from the ocean. With enlightenment, you have come to realize, I am the ocean. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Chapter 5, known as Karma Sannyasa Yoga, giving insight into karma and sannyasa. That's the central feature of spiritual movement. You live in the world and actions are natural. Manasa vacha karmana. Actions through your mind, thoughts, actions through your speech, through your hands. Actions continue. But when you study scriptures, you recognize the importance of renouncing everything. So the mind goes after the ideal of attaining renunciation instead of being involved in action. Due to immaturity of understanding, this creates constant conflict in the mind of people. And that is resolved to understand the teachings of the Gita. A simple formula has been presented. Karma plus vikarma becomes akarma. It's pure algebra. Do your karmas, duties. But here again, when you say do your duties, always understand, the more harmonized you are, better is your performance. So therefore, as you live your life with the objective of being harmonized physically, mentally, and to be more precise, action, emotion, will and reason, if these four are well developed in you in a harmonized way, even while you are developing that harmony, you develop a special sensitivity to recognize whether you are plunging yourself in rajasic and disturbing activities, or you are plunging yourself into something that is fruitful, meaningful, purposeful. A subtle difference is understood by you. Just like if you are a healthy person, eating food, your tongue tells you food that is good for you, food that is not good for you. Your instinct tells you how much to eat, how much not to eat, what not to eat. I'm giving you a simple way to understand. It's natural in a person. However, to the majority of people is not so natural. To be natural requires a lot of work, a lot of satsanga. So therefore, first stage you face the problem of Swadharma, Paradharma. What type of activities you should engage yourself into. And then you go on evolving it, correcting it more and more. Swadharma is that when you are involved in it, you do not feel that you are wasting your time. Day by day, you feel a sense of stability. But when you're involved in Paradharma, which means taking up a project which you are under pressure, all that you want that the project should somehow be accomplished by you so that can receive your salary intact. The salary being your goal, not the project. Then it becomes Paradharma. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Paradharma is terrible. It brings fear in your heart and makes your life completely shallow. Swadharma, you are living your life. Life is not being wasted. But when you have Swadharma, again you have a choice in your mind. Doing your duties, which are fulfilling to you, but having another stage of your mind, a deeper understanding. Am I going to accomplish through this project? What's the goal? Mind must understand the goal is not in the realm of relativity. It's not in the realm of time and space. Anything you accomplish in the world of time and space, that's limited, that's transient, anitya, non-eternal. So, but every action that you do, it has two components of it. One, it allows you to accomplish something in the world of time and space. Second, it gives you an internal satisfaction. To become a karma yogi, you switch your attention from external success to an internal spiritual expansion. The external goal, external result. But then again, this should not make you impractical. You must always understand that if your focus is on purity of heart links you with God. You get a little sniff of divine grace. Therefore, if you are working for gaining purity of heart, good things will develop around you like a miraculous way. Adverse situations will change into prosperous situations. Enemies will become friends. You will have more harmony around you. The question of having success in the external world, that question doesn't arise. Same thing echoes in the Bible. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. In order to seek the kingdom of heaven, your heart has to be purified. Now, that which promotes purity of heart and opens the window within your heart, that is the movement of sannyasa. That which allows you to work in the world of time and space. That's Karma Yoga. Karma. Karma is a wafting fragrance in the world of relativity. Jnana is an inward opening of the window of the heart. These are two aspects of the same spiritual movement, two sides of the same coin. And if that is not well understood, then spiritual movement becomes eccentric. The idea that, I am going after God, let the world go to hell. If that idea was sustained by great sages, you wouldn't have Shankaracharya who said the whole world is illusion. But in his daily life, his life was filled with activity. How to bring that knowledge to the people, how to elevate them. Vasantavat lok ehite charanta. As you move towards internal enlightenment, there is a direct proportional progress in the world of relativity, where you impact upon the world in a very positive way. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. Like a flower that has fragrance. It doesn't keep account of how many places its fragrance is spreading. It just goes on. Having said that, now I will continue with the 14th verse. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. The divine self does not create doership in people, nor does he work. He does not create relationships between the works and their fruits. It is swabhava, or the avidya aspect of nature in every individual, that sustains these illusions. These writings are very profound. Let me explain the point. When you study yourself and the activities that flow through you, lots of activities go on in a spontaneous manner. In other words, you are not consciously involved. There are involuntary actions. And there are voluntary actions, even from a very physical point of view. Your eyes, your breathing, pulse, functioning of your heart, blood circulation, all goes on spontaneous. If your mind becomes clearer, you will have a constant awareness that God, who has created the world, who is taking care of sun, moon, stars, millions of galaxies, it's that God who is handling your circulatory movement, your pumping of the heart, cells within you and their functions, that God is manipulating your brain. All that has been designed for a divine plan. And all this has not been designed by your ego, so there's no need for you to be egotistic. But likewise, if that sense dawns that God is constantly operating, sustaining, guiding you deep down, that sense should overpower your ego. From ego's point of view, the idea, these things are done by me, I have to do it, I have to enjoy its fruit. That ego must become transparent. And an internal insight has to develop. It is the God who does through me. Ego in itself is not the reality. As often I have given you the story of camel and the rat. The rat seems to draw the camel by holding on to its rope coming from its neck. And the rat begins to feel that I am the controller of the camel, until there comes a little puddle of water. The rat stops. The camel said, "Oh Lord, move on. Lead me on." The rat realizes the camel is the one. The rat has not been the one leading the camel. Camel says, "Come, jump upon my back." And then the camel crosses it. The rat again jumps back. Whether he got enlightenment or not, you have to ask the rat. But ego in an individual acts like a rat. So countless times when you face situations where your ego is absolutely baffled, but when the situation passes on, become alert. Look, I have triumphed over those things. See my example. I have done it. That again is no harm in that, but it depends upon whether you are so egoistic about it or whether you feel God has been operating through. If God is recognized, then you are fine. The doership, I am the doer, that God has not created that. Your mind has created that illusion, I am the doer. When you go to sleep, you enter into dream. In your dream, an illusion enters your mind that you have done certain things and therefore you are reaping a result. All this has not been really created, but they are illusory. In the same way, the idea of I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, that idea is based on ignorance. That's not created by God. When you look up to the sky and say the sky is blue, and they can say, oh, God is such great, He has painted the sky blue. I'm just giving you some illustration. God didn't create it to begin with. The sky is not blue, and it's not towering over your head in such a wonderful way. Simple illustration. Likewise, all your attitudes, concepts about yourself, your involvement in action, your expectations, your dreams, all these are governed by avidya-based mind that is gripped by ignorance. And all this is unreal. He does not create relationships between the works and their fruits. To human mind, there is a causation. You do certain things and certain results come. And your mind is constantly putting these two together. But you are being led to understand that works and their fruits, they are in the realm of Maya. Maya means illusion. Just like in your dream, you have your projects, you have works, and your projects have their fruits. But the works and their fruits in your dream, both are illusory. But why do you have that dream? Because you have impressions in your unconscious. Accordingly, you get into your dream different type of experience. Likewise, impressions in your unconscious, karmas. Karmas exist as samskaras. Samskaras turn into vasanas when they begin to sprout. Samskaras and vasanas, they give you the illusion. First illusion that you are an individual entity, a jiva. Second illusion that you are supported by the world of time, space. And then there are all experiences of the world are different forms of illusion. Me and mine. All these and numerous defects that arise in your mind. Kama, krodha, desire, anger, greed, hate, jealousy, pride. All these are based on ignorance. God didn't create. All these are sustained by your ignorance. Let me remind you of the basic plan. Brahman, the absolute. Prakriti is the magical power of Brahman. Prakriti is a balance of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. That Prakriti becomes three types. Sattva predominating Prakriti is called Maya. That's the specialized meaning of Maya, Sattva predominating. What it implies? Brahman, the absolute, through the veil of Sattva predominating Prakriti, plays the role of God, the creator, God, the sustainer, God, the destroyer. God, the creator, is called Brahma. God, the sustainer, Vishnu. God, the destroyer, is called Shiva. These roles are played by the God. These roles are not real. As long as souls are involved in the world of illusion, these roles seem to be a practical reality guiding the souls. As long as you are in a dream world, there is an overpowering rule behind that word. Similarly, so first I described sattva predominating. The next one is rajas predominating prakriti. Rajas predominating prakriti becomes the basis. That's all avidya or ignorance. Ignorance becomes the basis of Brahman manifesting in the form of countless souls. Just like the sun shining upon the earth brings about countless reflected suns. Wherever there is little water, there is a reflected sun. How many are they? Countless. These countless reflections, they don't have much power. But if you ask who is controlling them, sun is controlling. It's allegorical, but at least allows you to understand something about. So, through rajas predominating prakriti, Brahman has become countless souls, jivas. These jivas are ruled by Brahman appearing through sattva predominating Prakriti. That's Ishvara, as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So as long as there is a world process, God is ruling the soul, guiding all your karmic movements. So you are never put into a karmic situation by accident. An infinite omnipotence and omniscience of God is sustaining the world. If that were not so, religion will have no value. Even for a moment, if God is thought to be absent-minded, then there will be no practicality in any religion. God is omniscient, omnipotent. And that point has to enter. As jiva, as individual soul, you are gripped by avidya, ignorance. Third point, tamas predominating prakriti. That becomes the basis of matter. Matter at the source are called tanamatras, subtle elements. They are known after akasha, space, ether, air, fire, water, earth. They are named after these physical elements, but they are totally different. They are subtlest, subtler than the concept of atoms. They are God particles. So, everything that the soul works with, intellect, ego, unconscious, mind, senses, pranas, vital forces, physical body, all the details about the physical body, the world around you, the whole universe of matter, all have come on the basis of tamasi prakriti. Same Brahman, through tamasi prakriti, manifests in the form of the entire universe. Therefore, if we have deep understanding of spirituality and religion, God is everywhere. Nothing in the world is not indwelt, permeated, interpenetrated by the divine. So coming back to the story of the soul is gripped by ignorance, led by karma. God is guiding the soul according to its karma. But in that guidance, the soul has potentiality of free will. You can live your life in such a way that free will expands, enabling you to build up your destiny, change your karmas, or your free will becomes reduced. That's where purushartha comes in, your self-effort. A positive self-effort will allow your free will to expand. If that expands, your effort goes towards practice of integral yoga. You harmonize, you allow your mind to move Godwards. If you do, soul moves away from the grip of avidya and starts experiencing the breeze of vidya, knowledge. Avidya is, again, giving you a simile of, suppose you were in the forest, lost. In the dark night, you want to find your way. You get out of the hut and you choose either to go to the east or to the west. But at that time, you have two possibilities. You can go into deeper part of the forest and get more and more lost. Or you can get out of the forest from dense darkness to less darkness and to a lighted city. Both possibilities are there in human being. If you are not guided, don't have satsanga, don't have any faith to work with, then you are plunging yourself from darkness to darkness. If you are working in a positive way, now you are moving from darkness to light. As you move from darkness to light, your relationship with God becomes more and more effective. And you begin to progress in all the 4 yogas. Karma yoga, your activities become more in tune. You become more and more a kind of instrument in God's hands. Your feeling becomes more and more a form of love of God. Your willing becomes in tune with God's will. And your understanding becomes cosmic. I am not the body, I am not the mind. I am the Absolute. I am that am I. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu ajnanena vritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantava. The all-pervading divinity does not take the sin or the virtue of anyone. Jiva's attainments are like gathering of clouds. God's presence is like the sky. So, as an individual soul, if you have attained lots of virtuous qualities, God is very pleased with you, but you are not really adding to God. Just like in a family, if your son or daughter does something great, parents become pleased. And not only pleased, they are more enriched. But not so with God. You are not enriching Him. You are all children of God. But how much good you do, you are not enriching Him. He is absolutely perfect. Neither are you diminishing Him by your sinful karmas. God is not affected, but your soul is affected. The soul does not have the insight that I am a ray of God. But when you have developed that insight, then there is a different situation. It is because knowledge is veiled by ignorance that individual souls are deluded. Souls that are experiencing the miseries of the world process. Why do they experience misery? Being intrinsically the God, why do they experience all this misery? Because that experience is the mind. As long as the mind is gripped by ignorance, soul will continue to hold on to the illusion of individuality, that I am an individual soul in the midst of many souls. In other words, if ignorance were to be removed, or in the process of removing your ignorance, a profound insight will develop that you are not an individual being. You are universal. Think of the example of waves and the ocean. A wave, suppose, has developed individuality. I am a wave in the midst of many waves. Waves are mama waves, papa waves, grandfather waves. And every day I must wave my hand to them. But with deeper reflection, the wave begins to realize that I am the ocean. But from wave state to ocean state, build up rungs. The deeper you go, the wider is your consciousness. If you went deep, you will begin to view not only I am one little wave, but thousands of waves near me, they are me, and they are all sustained by me. I am the one expressing myself through them. Their joy is my joy. Their sorrow is my sorrow. Therefore, my prayers, sarve bhavantu sukhina. May all of them be joyous. May all their miseries move away. And go deeper and deeper. Then you come to a state that you are the ocean. And all the waves and all their surgings become void. You're sunk in absolute silence. That's mukti, liberation. But while that liberation state is there, the wave reality continues in its own way. What I'm always trying to remind you that if you move towards liberation, your role in the world becomes much more dynamic, knowingly or unknowingly. But your focus is not the world, but it becomes automatic. A wave that is going towards the understanding I am the ocean automatically becomes an inspiration for many waves. Can't help it. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham aditya vadyanam prakashayati tatparam. 16th verse. For those whose ignorance has been destroyed by the knowledge of the self, wisdom shines forth like the sun, revealing the reality of the transcendental self. This is the state of enlightenment. Unenlightened state, think of the wave. Your whole consciousness is identified only with a wave in the midst of countless waves. Viewing yourself far from the ocean. With enlightenment, you have come to realize I am the ocean. That revelation is put in another type of imagery, like the shining sun. Sun shines. Whole night you have been shivering, terrified with so many shadows, so many sounds. Forces of darkness have been parading everywhere. The sun begins to shine. And they all run away. Until you realize they don't have run away. They did never exist. The sun shines forth. In the same way, state of enlightenment is a revelation of the self. It's kind of awakening. If you have been in a dream and terrorized by inauspicious dreams, as you wake up, all that negative moves away. You may carry it on. That will depend. This is just an allegorical example. All the negative moves away. Nothing of the dream comes on your bed. In the same way, but while you are dreaming and while you are terrorized, all the time the real you was not affected. This point has to enter deep down. While you are suffering, terrorized, full of agony, struggling in life, deeper you, which demands that question, who am I? An intellect that is asking the question and trying to understand, who am I? That intellect begins to come to the grip of revelation. The real I am is not in any way affected. It's ever the same. That revelation is like the rising sun that removes darkness of ignorance. Tad buddhya tad atmana tad nishtha tad parayana gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. Tad buddhya, those who have their intellect centered in the self and who are supremely devoted to the self, they destroy all sins by knowledge and attain that state of liberation from where there is no return to the world process. The verse gives you a picture of integral yoga. Tad buddhya means having a clear understanding that God alone is real. I am that. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, not the senses. Profound understanding. To give you more classical way, an understanding that is free of samshaya, asambhavana, viparita bhavana. Three obstacles are there to understand. Samshaya means doubts. Mind is always swinging on two sides. One day you say, oh, God does everything. Next day, no, God doesn't do anything. So mind is swinging. This swinging state of mind is corrected by satsanga, constantly listening. Open your mind and enjoy listening to intelligent talks, listening to things that have a deeper meaning and purpose for your life. The next obstacle is called asambhavana. The mind has already built up a kind of concept that all this which the scriptures say and the Guru says, all this is good. But it's not for me. I'm not adept enough, qualified enough. If at all, it will be some other birth somewhere, 50 births later. Because your mind tries to put two and two together. You start thinking of how many lives have gone on, and you start calculating how many karmas you have done in each life. And then you start calculating how many years are left now in this life. And your mind gets baffled. It's impossible for you to cut down all your karmas, become free of malas and free of vikshepa and all that. It's impossible. It's like emptying a whole ocean. But what you are not bringing into this process is the work of God's grace. Let me give you the often told parable story. A sparrow, mother sparrow, lost her egg in the ocean. She had no idea. She had laid her egg in a very comfortable place, but ocean suddenly swept the egg away. The mother sparrow became exceedingly agitated, angry with the ocean, and made a pledge that I will empty the ocean. And picked up a straw and hopped towards the ocean, dipped it in the ocean, looked with a with blazing eyes of anger to dry the ocean up, hopped back and shook that. Sparrow started doing again and again and again. Sage Narada passed by, first became amused, asked the sparrow, and then, out of great compassion, he said, why don't you, each time you do that, invoke Garuda? Garuda is of your own class, is a bird. Garuda refers to intuitive knowledge. The bird refers to the jiva, the soul within you. And the task before an aspirant is just like emptying the ocean. But don't worry. However much you can empty every day, and that's all you can empty. So dip, shake it. But while you are emptying it, you are invoking Garuda. You are invoking God's grace. So once that grace begins to enter, then as the bird started invoking Garuda, Garuda came and the entire ocean becomes a mud puddle for Garuda. So the entire task of attaining liberation, which is so immense, becomes something so little, like child's play. This point has to enter the mind and work upon it. Along with your effort, faith must go on developing. And faith moves mountains. So tad buddhya, allow your intellect to work that way. Free yourself of doubts, sanshaya, by listening. Asanbhavana, by reflecting upon what you have listened to. And practicing, as what I have said, integral yoga like this, like the sparrow. And viparita bhavana, the result of your sadhana, intuitive knowledge dawns, and your twisted understanding that I am an individual being, I am the body, I am the mind, all this twisted understanding. The world is real. This twisted understanding moves away. Sanskrit words are shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Listening, reflection, and a deep meditation. your thoughtful meditation. Tad buddhya tad atmana. Your intellect should follow this. Your feeling should follow the path of bhakti, devotion. Your will must follow the path of meditation with a resolute vow. And your action must follow the path of serving God in all names and forms. If you have developed these four aspects in daily life, gacchantya punaravrittim, then you will attain liberation. You will attain apunaravritti. Punaravritti means coming back into the world. Apunaravritti means cessation of coming back. No more do you come back. That's called liberation. Cycle of birth and death terminates. Jnana nirdhuta kalmasha. All the kleshas, afflictions are destroyed by the light of knowledge. And with this I will conclude. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.